Hey guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. Today we're talking about Mercury Cazimi, or entering the heart of the sun, as he goes retrograde on May the 21st, and happens to be hanging out exactly conjunct spooky goddess of ghosts, witchcraft, the crossroads, and the keys to the underworld, Hekate. She's not just spooky, but she's also very powerful. At the same time, Mercury is sitting with a star named Mirfak, and this Mercury Sun conjunction involves the idea of the rescuing hero, the champion. This is a powerful star within the constellation of Perseus. This is a very fascinating, particular Mercury in the heart of the sun as well, because it involves a very cool, very lovely energy connected to the idea that as this event occurs at 0 degrees of Gemini, this heart of the sun event, it's in a near perfect sextile to benefic Santa Claus, fairy godfather, Jupiter. So it's more positive than anything, but it has a sense of where are we coming to a threshold of mystery, of confusion and uncertainty in each of our lives, a three-road crossroads. What keys to move through in the right direction to where we need to go can we receive from this particular Mercury Cazimi, and how will Jupiter bless this as well by perhaps giving us all an opportunity in some way, opportunity, luck, lucky break, to accept some kind of directional guidance or breakthrough energy. Now, I will tell you a bit about Hekate because I find that's a fascinating goddess, if you don't mind. But if you're really anxious for your all signs portion of this reading, how this Mercury in the heart of the sun as he's retrograde might influence you, you can jump ahead to that portion of this recording. Use your rising sign first. It really reflects the moment you came into Earth, and that ascendant is the time of your birth. Rising sign, ascendant, same thing. And then your sun and moon are useful as well. I'm going to do a video about these things later, a little tutorial about how to look at the sun, moon, and rising. But you can also listen to your sun sign and your moon sign, but certainly your rising sign will feel the most accurate. Next, I have a little bit of a course I'm teaching called Sky Reader, Be Your Own Astrologer, Time Your Best Life. If you've ever wanted to learn astrology so you can read your own natal chart effectively and maybe make some good divine timing predictions for your own journey, make decisions based on sky weather, check my course out below, okay? And it's if you sign up for my newsletter, Cosmic Moonshine Forecast, which I deliver every Sunday to your inbox, then you're going to get a 33% discount code off of my 6-week live Zoom course with a Facebook group and weekly Wednesday night coaching calls. And, really want to walk you through getting a successful outcome. I've limited the class size to 33. I'm not sure where I'm at now. I think I might be at 14 people. Okay, so I'm recording this on May 19th. And you'll probably be listening to it on May the 20th or 21st. Okay, because my Patreon community gets first dibs on all my material. All right, so first of all, let me do something, okay? Let me read something to you. I don't normally read things when I'm doing these kinds of recordings and all of that. And I changed my location. I'm usually in my other room, but today I didn't feel like it. So this is my bedroom that you're in with me. I want you to see a little thing first. I'm going to try sharing my screen to share something with you. Now, will this work? What have I shared? Classic. Lori doesn't know what she's sharing moment, but I can't see it for some reason. Normally when I share, I see what I'm sharing. All right, we'll just stop the share because I can't see it. So never mind. I'm going to show you a picture of the constellation of Perseus. I have no idea. Maybe you just saw my messy desktop. But he's got Perseus is the guy who slayed the Medusa. Now, the Gorgon. That's associated with the fixed star Algol. We just had that eclipse, right? With the sun on Algol and the moon across the way. That was that Scorpio lunar eclipse around the 15th, 16th of the month of May. And it's interesting because Mercury in his retrogradation will station right on Algol around the station to move direct on June the 3rd, right on Algol. And so I find it fascinating that Mercury is having a powwow in a part of the sky that is associated with the guy who slayed the Medusa. I'm going to be doing a video on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard story. I have to get around to it, but they both have their Venus, goddess of love, exactly in the same place in the sky on the star Algol. This is a malefic star, off with their heads, slaying Medusa, a rape story with Medusa. you know, bad things happening, demonized feminine, a lot of weird energy around that whole story. Also, you know, corpses and, you know, death and a bunch of other negative stuff. Algol is a star, by the way, that varies in magnitude. Within 69 hours, it goes from a magnitude 2 to a 4. In other words, it changes, it dims and it brightens, it dims and it brightens. And there's maybe a possibility that the idea of the Medusa's head being slain and this kind of intermittent power and lack of power with that star is why it became associated with that myth. But anyway, life mirrors art and art mirrors the sky. And this stuff up there seems to reflect what happens down here. So I'm going to round that out by saying this Hekate thing, the goddess of the three roads, okay, trivia, like not Trivial Pursuit, like three ways you can go, Travaya maybe, in the ancient times. It was like she represented crossroads or thresholds where you had to choose between three directions. She also had three keys. One was the key to the dark, key to the underworld, and key to something else, three mysterious keys, but she represents the key holder. So how can she bring the key to a solution or the key to a direction or the key to something in our lives? Of course, thresholds, crossroads moment, she represents magic and ghosts. And of course, Mercury in the heart of the sun can be very mystical downloads. So you might get something from another dimension, another plane of reality in your dreams or in your meditations or anything during the 21st of the month of May when this happens. Now, I want to read you a little Hekate thing. Okay. So this is really funny, but not funny, but interesting. I've got two things I'm going to read to you very quickly. I want you to get the gist of this, and I'll show you the sky as well. First of all, there's a lovely website, and I'm not even going to tell you where it is. It's called herofandom.com, but they often give you really good background on mythical characters, even better than Wikipedia. And so she was not a goddess. She was made a goddess by Zeus, who was really happy for the fact that she really helped in the Titan War. And then he up-leveled her to become a divine being or a goddess. And he really liked her and treated her, Zeus, Mount Olympus, Jupiter, treated her just like a daughter. You have to remember that Jupiter in the sky is sextiling Hekate. So it's a father-daughter relationship, this really chumming up, really nice energy with Mercury and the sun on the 21st of May. So there's a flow between the characters in the story of this cast of celestial deities and characters. But here's a little other tidbit. So the keys, three keys she had can unlock three doors. And this is what it is. The doors that hide the fears and dangers in the dark for people to face or see what would scare a lot of people, so that they can become brave and fearless. So the keys that are unlocking these doors are to help us face our demons, our fears, to brave up a bit. Okay. So yeah, the doors were the dark and the underworld and the crossroads, the doors to three things. Okay. So keep that in mind. This could be a time for all of us where difficult three directions to go. Which way do I go? Decisions need to be made. Our own demons and shadows will be looked at if we dare to open the key to them, that kind of thing. And then there's an Orphic hymn. And now the Orphic hymns are really cool. There's an Orphic hymn that I'm going to read to you to Hekate. She was considered to be positive. People, you know, she became kind of Halloween ghosts and witches because she does cast spells more later on in her narrative. In the early days, she was looked to for help. All right. She was considered kind and compassionate. She helped save Persephone from the underworld because she was abducted and raped by Pluto. And she helped the mom, Demeter, rescue her daughter. So, you know, you got to get that she's not just a witchy goddess, but she does do magic, ghosts and witchy stuff as well. And she can guide the souls of the dead because she spent some time hiding from people in the underworld and also rescuing Persephone. Okay, so here's the Orphic hymn to Hekate. Hekate, lovely dame of earthly watery and celestial frame, sepulchre in a saffron veil, arrayed, pleased with dark ghosts that wander through the shade. Persis, solitary goddess, hail, the world's key bearer, never doomed to fail. In stages rejoicing, huntress nightly seen and drawn by bulls, unconquerable queen. I love it. Let's all invite a little Hekate into our lives. And here's what the sky looks like when this Cazimi happens. And then if you got through this far, you know, of my ramble, yay you. I can't believe I couldn't show you the Perseus thing. Maybe I didn't know it. So this is the sky on this Cazimi, and I'm just showing you that there's Jupiter. I didn't put all our planets in, and there's a sextile to the Sun and Mercury. Behind them is the star Myrfak. You can't see that. I can't draw it in. And also Hekate is exactly conjunct Mercury Sun. So it's really Mercury Sun Hekate. It's a triple conjunction. The goddess, by the way, has three faces. She's the maiden mother crone, or she's the three phases of the moon, which are the half moon, the full moon, and the new moon, because there's a waning and a waxing half moon. So she represents things in triplicity, three crossroads, three keys. And here she is in a menage a trois with the Sun and Mercury and herself. And Mercury in the heart of the Sun is Mercury going into the divine intelligence to collaborate and get mission instructions from God, on a mission from God, and to renew himself as he gets born again into the sky as a morning star Venus. All right. He's dying as an evening star, and he goes into the heart of the sun, and he over time will be visible around early June in the sky again. All right. As a morning star. And it's around June 3rd, of course, that we have that he becomes visible on Algol, right? The star around 26.7 degrees of Taurus, as he stations to go into direct motion, and also becomes visible again in the early week of June. And there's something about that that's very evocative to me. It's kind of like he just had a powwow under the light of Myrfak, the rescuing hero who slayed the Medusa, and then he's going to go direct to become visible on the Medusa's head. I'm going to say that it seems like the narrative is you're going to be able to slay something, okay? Like slay a demon or slay a difficult circumstance and overcome it when this 0 degrees of this Cazimi occurs. One more thing I'll say before we go to all signs. This is a very exciting degree because it was 0 degrees that Saturn and Jupiter collided together in this great conjunction that happened at 00 Aquarius back in December of 2020. And so this kind of sends trine energy, air trine energy to that spot, because you see, that Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is a 20-year narrative, right? Something over 20 years we're all experiencing collectively to do with the Aquarian air. And this is the first big ingress of those two conjunctions, Saturn-Jupiter synodic cycle every 20 years in Aquarius, kind of kicking off a 200-year cycle of air conjunctions. This, and before that it was Earth, thus the industrial capitalist consuming industrial revolution society, all the stuff we did onto the Earth. And now we're on to air, which is ideas and inventions and stuff like that, maybe UFOs. But anyway, with this here, the crossroads, the thresholds, kind of heating up that 00 degrees in a sextile across the way. I just wonder if this is also connected to that broader theme of the dawning of the age of Aquarius, or maybe the age of invention, or the age of UFOs, or being citizens of the stars or whatever. Okay, instead of just Earth, not confined to our solar system, perhaps. Okay, so moving on, I will do the all signs. We're going to start with Aries, and I'm going to come back to you guys and talk. I'm not going to just share this, but let's get going. Little 2-minute sound bites for each of you about what crossroads thing, threshold thing is coming to your awareness in this Cazimi on May 21st, but then later around June 3rd could lead to some breakthrough in which you are able to overcome, slay, or eliminate a difficulty in your life. And the two, I think, are connected. Okay. And don't forget, Hekate can help you see in the dark. She's got torches. I forgot, she's 3 keys, 3 torches. She's 3 roads that she can present to you. But she shows you the right way. I mean, that's how I see her anyway. She shows you the proper way to go. And I do have some seriously really frizzy hair today. This is what happens when you do not blow dry your hair. Okay, so give me a minute. I'm going to talk about each of you in 2-minute quickies, and I hope you enjoy that. I really wanted to show you Perseus. I wonder if I could do that. Is there any way that I can figure out why I couldn't show it to you? I'm just going to show you one more attempt. Okay. Don't forget to check out my, oh, there he is. Maybe I showed it to you before. Look at that dude, Perseus and Kaput Medusa. When we say kaput, we mean beheading. Okay. It's like Latin or something for kaput, to decapitate. Anyway, Perseus can kaput Medusa. This is a lovely graphic of the star itself, of the star system, okay? And there's a Gorgon or Medusa's head. There's this rescuing hero, Perseus, in the sky. And Mirfak is the star that is sitting with this particular Cazimi. Of course, I'm squinting now into my computer to find Mirfak in this like part of the story. They're not labeling all the stars, so I can't, but it's one of the stars you're seeing in here. Okay, I wish I knew which one it was. Okay, guys. So I did manage probably to share it earlier and didn't know. All right, so let's get going. Don't forget to sign up for my course. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I'm rounding the corner to 5,000 subscribers. I'm so excited, so appreciative of everybody here. Please think about signing up for my newsletter, not just to get a discount on a course, but you get a 30% off one-time discount code for reading with me, and you get my 222 all signs bundle, 12 videos, 60 minutes each for each sign that you can share with friends and family or listen for your sun, moon, and rising forecast for 22. And we're still not even at the halfway mark. So why not get the second half of 22 for free when it was for sale for $47 and still is if you're not on my newsletter. All right, enough selling. Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. So Aries, the energy of this crossroads, thresholds moment in which you could see a new direction or see something that's hidden from view with Hekate and Mercury and the sun is in your third house. Now, your third house is your busy house. It's your cadent house of trips and journeys and travel. So is there a journey or trip that you may be taking in the next few weeks? Especially don't forget breakthrough energy around the 3rd of June that could be connected to what's happening in the sky on May 21st. For me, I am going on a trip that week, and I'm an Aries sun. But also you could think about breakthroughs and ideas, because the mental energies of the 3rd house are the ideas we have. And it's our online and social influence house. It's where we spend time on our website or social media. It's a house of writing. And of course, Mercury and Gemini in his own sign, you could have the most amazing idea for a writing project or a writing thing that you want to do. But don't forget, it's tied to this kind of really cool spiritual God, divine intelligence, sun, Mercury download that's happening in this magical, mystical Cazimi during the day of the 21st. So be attentive, tune in, meditate, lean into that day and see what kinds of insights you get that you can then enact and make a breakthrough energy, resolve something, around the June 3rd timeframe. Now, Jupiter's supporting you in a beautiful fairy godfather sextile from the house of you. This is your body. This is your identity. Of course, this is you basically just stepping up and being, able to lead or take magnanimous, lucky energies into your being and act in ways as well, especially after that June 3rd turning point, in ways that support your breakthrough. Lastly, your 3rd house is siblings. Could you get some kind of mysterious sibling things going on that are ghostly, magical, and spiritual around the 21st that then will lead to some interesting new directions for you around June 3rd as Mercury stations direct on Algol, and you can slay some kind of challenge, like slay the problem with the sibling, slay the difficulties on your trip or whatever, or your writing project gets stalled and now you can go forward again. I will say this, I want to mention, you'll see I had put Saturn in there. During this turnaround time, Mercury will be square Saturn. So there may be a sense of frustration and delay for everybody. And as I go through all these signs, so just breathe through it. Give yourself about a week or 4 days after June 3rd to see momentum instead of feeling like there's a stall or there's a suppressive energy coming in. In this case, it could be suppressive energy from a family, a social group, a social network, 11th house things. Okay. Let's keep going and moving through this at a rapid and clickety click pace. All right. So we're next talking about you Taurians and Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. Mercury in the heart of the sun with Hekate on the 21st is happening right in your 2nd house of money. Now, if money's been a challenge for you and you need to have a torchlight of clarity in the dark, if you need to slay a money demon, if you need to see clearly where to go, 3 directions, which do you choose? This is what this 1st of May Cazimi wants to help you with. And with the slaying, rescuing hero and Perseus there, the promise of success and getting through a difficult situation is beginning to be clear around June 3rd, when Medusa's head can be slain, and when you can begin to actually get momentum, because Mercury will go direct. However, there will be a square to Saturn at the same time around June 3rd, and you must relax a little bit and not get too stressed, because you may feel that there's some kind of suppression from somebody in authority in your workplace, in your career path. Somebody at, the top of your sky, Saturn in your 10th, could be kind of giving you a hard time that first week of June, but you have rescuing hero slaying powers, okay, imbued on that Mercury as he went into the heart of the sun under Mirfak, and with that Hekate, use your intuition, use your inner knowing in order to slay something that, in your money story, in your valuables and possessions story. I mean, I feel like this is going to open up a huge new financial positive direction for a lot of you Tauruses. And, maybe that squashy energy from Saturn the 10th is you just have to contend with the rules and the regulations of a job process, a work process, an employment hiring process. You know what I mean? It may actually just be a natural sense of having to go through the hoops, Saturnian hoops, following the rules to get to where you want to go. But it'll take about a week. So give yourself to about the 7th or 8th or so, where you'll feel like everything's really beginning to move forward. And especially after the 14th as well. I don't want to talk about why, but just trust me on that. It's good for you. Things get better and better as June progresses. All right, Gemini, sun, moon, rising sign folk. This is all very much about you, right? Mercury's your lord. He's the Lugna lord, the ruler of the 1st house, and he is going to be in the heart of the sun at 0 degrees. Now, certainly if your sun, moon, or rising sign is in the first 5 degrees of Gemini, holy moly, do you really feel this? But of course, all Geminis feel it, but you really feel it. Like I'm saying, like go stay home and chant and meditate and dream journal all day long. I mean, there's something about this very potent for you guys on that 21st. Now, she is a threshold goddess, Hekate, and she gives you the keys to the underworld and to, the darkness and all that stuff. So the crossroads. So you're going to find that you're given a key. The key is coming to you during the actual Cazimi, but you may not be able to use that key effectively until June 3rd, when Mercury stations direct, and he will be on Algol. I'm not saying it's easy, and he will be square Saturn. It could feel like a real gnarly circumstance that's going on for you. So this, but you got help from fairy godfather Jupiter, and that's happening from your 11th house of friends. So friends can act as allies. Friends with favors in high places are trying to support you in this journey. But that Algol, crunchy energy is happening in your 12th house. And, I maybe didn't talk about the houses for everybody, but it is your own self-undoing. Where are you your own frigging worst enemy? Okay. Or where is a hidden enemy becoming quite obviously a problem, a real life enemy, but mostly it's your own, and being your own worst enemy. So what are you actually able to overcome and turn around in some way that's going to also support you to be more fully yourself? Because that's where it's all happening, in the house of you. Okay. Cancer, sun, moon, rising sign, the energy of the Cazimi in the 12th house is about that inner life. It's your own contemplations and your own insight into you, that go within or go without. It can be about a trip to a foreign land as well. Foreign, faraway places can be very featured with this heart of the sun, May 21st event. Now you're getting the keys to the crossroads, or you're getting the keys to the dark place or the underworld. So what are you going to do with those keys? And when will you be able to use them? Well, I do think, as I've been saying for all the signs, that you're really going to get those keys in use sometime after June 3rd, when Mercury turns direct, stations to turn direct. But he is stationing on Algol. And that is that Medusa's head that Perseus slays. So possibly the stationing on Algol in the 11th house can be having to dispense with a friend that isn't good for you, an ally who doesn't really have your back, or to leave a social group of belonging, to cancel out and get the hell out of there because you realize it's not the right place for you to be. And as well, you may have to slay a dream or hope for your own life, because that 11th house can really hold those aspirations and hopes we have. And maybe you realize it's not really working for you, and you have to slay that dream, that hope, that goal in your life. With that square to Saturn, up in your 8th house, you may feel like it's hard because money is involved. Maybe it's your partner's money, business partner money, bank loan money, mortgage money, tax money, credit card money. I mean, there's some financial ick there or stress around it. However, the good news is, don't forget, even if it's stressful, Jupiter, fairy godfather in your 10th house, is saying people who are your authorities or bosses or higher ups or people in power are saying, we've got your back. We're going to try to help you through this, whatever this is. So keep that in mind. And by the time you get around to June 9th and onward, that Saturn intensity is gone and the energy around the financial picture can loosen up a lot. Okay. Leo, sun, moon, rising sign. Am I still recording? Yes. Oh my God. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. You know, the Hekate, Mercury, sun, triple conjunction event is happening. All right. In your first degrees of your 11th house of good spirit, of good things, your dreams and wishes, your hopes, and your great gains financially from your work and your career, and great gains. And the idea of friends that can really support you in life, maybe be benefactors to you in some way, to really be allied with you. And yet we are going into this kind of threshold and dark night crossroads energy, magical, mysterious as it is. And you're getting some kind of key, but what is the key for? You know, I really should do a live record, a demo. I should do a thing for this. This is such a juicy sky. What are you getting the key for? Because this key is going to be used by you sometime after Mercury goes direct. So June 3rd onward. And at the beginning of that turnaround, there's a lot of gritty tension because Saturn squares Mercury, Mercury's on algol, and this is all happening in your career house. So even though you're getting a great key of yay you from that hugely lucky 11th house, there's a lot of grit in the first week or so of June around something going on in your career and in your work. And so you may have to deal it up. And yet Jupiter is loving this whole story. This Cazimi is being loved up on May 21st from Jupiter in your 9th house of God. Now, this can be a great thing if like you're a student, a professor is giving you love balls or whatever, like, I love you, like everything goes well, throwing love at you, or, you know, visas from foreign lands can really have some kind of thing going on, or court cases are working in your favor, Jupiter up there, or your spiritual life is enhanced as a result of this Cazimi. All right. You know, the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? What's the meaning of my life? Is very 9th house. It's your higher ideas about reality. And maybe this is to say, what higher spiritual philosophies and ideas about your reality can you be given or gifted in the Cazimi that you'll use and need as you go through this gritty first week of June, in which there's some need to slay a career demon, okay, off with its head and dispense with a difficult circumstance in the 10th house. And that Saturn, you know, restriction is coming from the 6th house of work, colleagues, co-workers. So you're definitely, oh, sorry, I do apologize. It is coming from, it would help if I didn't advance my chart at the speed of light and jump into 3 signs ahead of you. I apologize. I'm pulling us back to where we're supposed to be, Leo. Give me a minute, okay? I am so sorry about that. Saturn is giving you suppression energy from your 7th house of partnerships, business or love. So maybe the one you're with is really gnarly and in the first week of June, not supportive of whatever this career tension you're having is. Legal contracts as well is the 7th house. Okay, legal agreements and contracts are gnarly in the first week of June regarding career endeavors. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is important because Mercury is the lord of your sign. So anytime he does something interesting like this, you need to be paying really good attention. And he's doing a Cazimi reset button in the heart of the sun with Hekate, the crossroads keys, a threshold guardian. Which way do I go? In your career house. Now, I think in June, this is going to be a breakthrough, but a tension opportunity regarding things to do with your work. But algol, where Mercury goes into direct motion, this is tense because why is there a problem in the house of the father in Vedic astrology, the ninth house, in the house of your beliefs, in the house of trips and travel, in the house of your professors in academia land? What is this gritty catch in the storyline that you need to move through by slaying that problem? Because Mercury is coming back to your 10th house, right? He's going to be going back there again. And I think that I don't remember the date that he actually ingresses back into out of Taurus into your 10th, but the idea is that you got to get rid of that problem in the ninth in order to succeed in your career. But Jupiter sends you blessings from the 8th house of money, especially money that doesn't belong to you, your business partner, your partner, inheritances and loans and stuff like that, investments that pay off. And you're getting this transit for a long time. But at this Cazimi, it suggests that there's some kind of insight, download, or key that you're getting that improves your career story and your earnings and your money story at the same time. Now, Jupiter is also in the house of the dad and the underworld, and Hekate on the day of the Cazimi is coming from the place. She has the keys to the underworld. Now, I'm not knowing what this is. You could get like a dream from a ghostly insight, a dream from a dead person, spirit guidance from the other side. I don't know. It's really, if you're that way, it could be very magical, Virgo. Saturn is the guy causing the gnarl tension on the 3rd of June or so in a square to Mercury as he stations on Algol. And therefore, that first week of June, you may find colleagues and coworkers and things in your environment, or sometimes your health, okay, because that's where Saturn is, could be a hiccup or a trip up in the first week of June. Yet you have the keys to resolve it. So keep that in mind, okay, that you will prevail. I would say you will have a clear new direction as well to go in regarding the work story. A lot of this for you guys is definitely work and career, less so health, unless of course you realize that you're working in a toxic environment and it's not good for your health. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. Hekate, Sun, and Mercury collide together at 0 degrees of Gemini in your 9th house of God, truth, wisdom, foreign lands, court cases, legal affairs, spiritual philosophy, higher academia, book publishing. A lot of Libras are into books and Libra library book. And so therefore, there's some kind of insight on the 21st during the Cazimi. You're going to be given a key. You may not even know you have the key, right? Especially because the 9th house is at Metacosmos house, between the world's house. Very subtle key giving, to you. But you will use that key perhaps around June the 3rd, when you will experience direct motion Mercury station to turn around and Algol, who needs to be slayed, and a square from Saturn. Now, Saturn is squaring on the 3rd from your 5th house of romance and children. This could be a gnarly time with one of your kids, or a romantic endeavor, or with some kind of business project or creative project that you're trying to get off the ground. Jupiter is trying to lend support from your 7th house, especially on the Cazimi, which means that you can actually have help from teachers or guides that you can bring into your own life, or for friends who act like helpers, guides, teachers, and leaders to you, especially if it's a business type partnership that you can get Jupiter support from, but also from, oh, I gotta get comfy, some of your friends. Oh, this is what you do when you do a thing in bed. I can't find my comfortable spot. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm in my jeans. Okay. So keep that in mind. I think for a lot of Libras, you might be looking at this as a potential occasion for you, because you are in a kind of whole sign trine to Saturn, and you may not even mind that he's like been gallivanting through your 5th house, making you work hard to have fun. But he's plodding along, I should say. But you could definitely look at this as an occasion in the first week of June to figure out what stability you need to bring to your projects, Saturn, stability, legacy. And it may feel difficult, and you will have to slay a situation that has to do with money. You see, Algol and this turnaround is in your 8th house. It could be about getting a loan, a bank loan, a business loan. It could be about having to overcome a financial problem, like maybe you lost some money in the stock market downdraft and you need to slay that demon and overcome it. So opportunity to resolve those money problems, or your business partner tanked financially on you, things like that. You'll have the opportunity to resolve those problems. So that's the good news with this key that you got from Hekate. And so, the key to the resolution is there. Wait till the end of the first week of June, though, before you really see some clear sights ahead. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising sign, triple conjunction, Hekate, Sun, and Mercury, 1 degree of Gemini in your 8th house of bank loans, mortgages, business partner monies, your marriage partner money, alimony, spousal support, inheritance. So there's no doubt about it, Scorpio. Some of you are looking at a potential threshold crossroads moment with keys being given to you on the 21st, with Jupiter loving this whole thing from the 6th house of karmic debt, but also the 6th house of your work and your health routines. Now, Jupiter here can be the boss of the place you work at, or if you are the boss, it represents you being very authoritative with your employees. But yes, this can be good financial outcomes regarding work, but it also can be that money that you don't really have, but you can get your hands on. I don't know what to make of it. Sometimes it could be for some Scorpios, this bequeathment energy is being kicked off because Hekate is the god of the underworld. Mercury is a psychopomp. This is the house of the dead, the 8th house. And, around June 3rd, add a week, you're going to find that you'll understand what this is about, because that's when Mercury goes direct on Algol and you'll need to slay a problem. The problem is in your marriage house, or your legal contracts and documents house, or your business partnership house, your 7th house. It may just feel like a gnarly upset with the loved one, but it can also look like a legal hurdle you have to cross. And you will cross it. You will have the keys to the kingdom of solutions to resolve this. And Saturn is sending a little bit of the evil eye to the Algol Mercury heart of the sun, Mercury turn around June 3rd, from your real estate house, your home, your apartment. So is there maybe a hiccup in a real estate deal? Is there something you need to overcome or resolve in your home life that can lead you to some greater wealth? And of course, Saturn is in the 4th house for you guys, and that's legacy wealth. And so family wealth, and that's definitely looks like some of you Scorpios are dealing with money from your family of origin and resolving challenges around that money. You will prevail. Things will work out. I do see that because the Perseus energy was imbued into Mercury's soul to be affiliated with the rescuing hero archetype. So how will he help that become true? So is this an outcome eventually? Is financial positive energy for you regarding 8th house types of money? Like getting the mortgage, getting the loan, eliminating the credit card debt, getting a bequeathment, all of those stories. Resolving the alimony, spousal support stories. All right. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. I'm going to finish up here, guys. You're having this energy experienced in your marriage house where the Mercury Cazimi with Hekate is occurring. If you are a married Sag, for instance, or in a profoundly, committed relationship, there's something that's trying to happen quite magical here on the 21st, and you're getting the keys to the crossroads, the thresholds. You're getting some solution energy gifted to you, or you may see the dark into the darkness with a torch, or the key to the darkness that is Hekate's tool. And how will you see your relationship in a new light? Now, if you don't have one yet, this could be auspicious for bringing something new into light for you about a relationship that you could start up, because Jupiter from your romance house is loving up this Cazimi. So it could be like, oh my God, like, you realize that the one you're with is wrong and the one you want to be with is over there, or you realize who the one you want to be with is, or opportunities for romance are perking up. Now, with Jupiter blessing your 5th house for the next year minus a few months, you're definitely looking at some either fertility or romance stories really blossoming for you. Saturn is in a gnarly relationship on the Algol moment, June 3rd, with Mercury turning around. He's not lending necessarily a happy sort of glance. He's sort of grumpy and stern, and he's looking from your 3rd house to this Algol moment in your 6th house. So the Algol is happening in the workplace, Sagittarius, in your work, colleagues, environments, sometimes your health protocols and routines, a house of sickness. So you may have a temporary hiccup or glitch in your work stuff or in your health stuff. Saturn feels suppressive from the 3rd. You wanted to take a trip, but you can't because your health isn't so good. You wanted to get something going at work, but the online website shut down. Somebody like a sibling or a family member is repressively squashing you for some reason. Anyway, you will be able to resolve that, of course, because you've got the keys that Hekate gave you to this threshold thing. And sometimes it's just, what new direction are you going to take in your work or health that is going to help make Saturn more happy? And then, of course, throughout June, as Mercury returns to your 7th house, improve your marriage, your business partners, and your connections to others. Okay, keep it all in mind. Keep it all in mind. And Jupiter's your Lord, Sagittarius. So when he sends beautiful flowing sextile energy to this Cazimi and continues to support you in 7th house endeavors for a year, you can definitely form the perfect business partnership and the perfect marriage over the next year. So keep all that in mind, or committed relationship. Marriage is like a euphemism for committed relationship. All right, Heidi. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising sign. You're getting this energy of a triple conjunction. Oh, it's so magical, so ghosty, in the 6th house of karmic debt, the axis of karma, your work and health routines, etc. And, with support from Jupiter in the 4th house. So not so bad, right? How will your home life, domestic private life, and your real estate life and your land and all that stuff be really flowing toward the work story? Yet remember, you're getting the keys on the 21st. There's a Cazimi moment. It's very magical. Mercury won't be visible, nor will he be direct until the 1st week of June. Then you're going to see what this is really about. Now, the 1st week of June, he will be on Elgol, that Medusa had, turning people to stone. And that's on June 3rd. And he's turning around. It's in your 5th house. This is your children. This is your romantic lover and romance and sex partner. This is your business projects if you're an independent entrepreneur. This is your creative projects if you're an artist. All of that gets really glitchy and really difficult in that 1st week of June. And you get support from Jupiter in your 4th house, but you don't have support from Saturn. Saturn is like looking balefully from your money house, your earnings house, and your possessions house to this glitch in the 5th. I'll give you some crazy examples. Like, your lover wants you to give them your car, or they're going to take you to court for all you're worth. Your child needs financial support, and it's a burden. Your business project that you thought would succeed looks like it's going to hit a financial stall. I mean, these are just ideas, but you're going to have the keys to the crossroads that Hekate gave you to resolve this and move forward, especially after the 1st week of June. So don't expect it to be easy, but you've got the keys to the kingdom to fix the problem. All right. And the 5th house is fertility and pregnancy. So if you've been trying to get pregnant, you might run into a bump in the road, but you have the keys to resolve it after the 1st week of June. Okay, here comes me, the Aquarius people, Aquarius, sun, moon, rising sign. So what happens here is that we have this energy of a Cazimi in our romance and children house. Now, this is also Hekate. So, what threshold crossroads decisions in romance, in business enterprise, like I have my own business, in creative projects and children, is coming into form on the Cazimi with Jupiter's cheerleading support from the 3rd house. A trip with a child, a trip with a lover, a business trip that was really going to pay off. These things are percolating, and downloads and insights about those themes on the 21st of May. Pay attention. But then, or online stuff, Jupiter's going through your 3rd house of websites, social media platforms, your ideas, your groups of people you reach through those platforms, right? And he's trying to expand that, you guys, from Aquarius. We're going to like blow up that way. Maybe my YouTube channel will go from 5,000 to 50,000. Yay me. But we're moving forward in really powerful ways in our 3rd house stuff, which is also very connected to independent enterprise, like the 5th house. And so this energy is getting a download on the 21st, a great idea, a great new concept, etc. In Vedic astrology, skills are and talents, natural talents and skills are the 5th house. What natural talent and skill or ability do you have that you're going to realize you have? Hekate says, here's the key to that ability, skill, or talent. Go for it. But the Algol moment where Mercury is in the on that star turning direct June 3rd presents a glitch or a challenge in our home. Now, it could be with someone we're living with because it's our domestic private life. Or if you don't live with someone like me, it could be something going wrong in the home. Like, what about my apartment building, shuts down for an emergency? They did that a week ago, gas leaks, but that's not big enough for this algal moment. That's so short lived. What kind of is going on regarding where you live? And you're going to have to overcome it and slay it like a demon. All right. Like, I need to say, for me, it could be my landlord says she wants to no longer rent the place to me. Okay, that's a good example. I'm going to have to scramble to find something new. I wouldn't take action right away, even though there's a problem, because we do have a square from Saturn, and Saturn says go slow. And Saturn's our Lord, and he's in our house. Go slow, be realistic, be cautious, take your time, okay, to resolve this. So the square is also like, you can look at it as a problem, a square, but you can also look at as it like a flavor of action. So maybe it's just about pausing, and because perseverance, slow moving, steady, cautious, resilient Saturn is looking at this glitch in the real estate home energy, or someone you're living with is causing a challenge for you, and you're going to be able to resolve that. But as the week of June 1st wanes and you're moving into the second week, you'll have more momentum around that as well, getting the resolution to that problem. Jupiter in your third house means you might be learning something new. And this is wonderful because the Cazimi could be connected to that learning. I'm in the middle of learning something new in a coaching program I'm being mentored in. And so you could have a breakthrough insight about what you're learning, right, on the Cazimi, but it can also provide the key to resolving problems regarding your home and where you're living in some way as well. Last but never least is our Pisces watery people, fishes, and mutable, fickle people that you are, but mystic poets of the zodiac. You have the Cazimi with Hekate present in your fourth house of homeland, real estate, house of the mother, house of your domestic private life, people living with you, all of that good stuff, and your childhood and legacy stuff and ancestors. Well, this is very magical. Because Hekate is the goddess of ghosts and magic and witchcraft. You could literally have a visitation from a dead spiritual ancestor. Dead ancestor. I'm not kidding you. You might have a ghost moment for you guys, because that's fourth house is very much capable of that. If you do on the 21st, the Cazimi as a Pisces have that magical, mysterious information from a dream at night or a ghostly intervention from an ancestor, is for your good, right? You're going to get the keys to something to cause you to be able to cross a threshold or look into the darkness, face your demons. These would be childhood demons, the way you were raised, you didn't like it, you have to dispense with your childhood demons maybe. However, Jupiter says, yay, you, I've got your back, from the second house of money, earnings, voice, the face forward, right? How will this help you face forward? How will this give you new money and earnings and vocation and voice energy in your life? Because Jupiter is trying to make this Cazimi very financially positive. So breaking a stupid family rule that if you're rich, you're breaking the vows of poverty your family took. Or if your dad or mom said something like you're never going to make any money because you're worthless or something. This could be a very healing Cazimi for some kind of values that weren't yours, that were laden on you, and some kind of lessons in childhood about prosperity and capability to be abundant that you, particularly Pisces, can break through. However, the algal Mercury turnaround on June the 3rd is happening in your third house of siblings, aunts, uncles, and cousins, short trips and travel, learning, skills-based learning, writing, and the online stuff online world. So or your local neighborhood, how will there be a glitch in all of those possible themes? For instance, maybe you'll have a conflict with a family member, like an aunt or a sibling or cousin. Maybe you're going to find that is going to have an opportunity for you to slay something. Maybe a sibling resurrects a family wound. And you have that Saturn in your 12th. So even though there's an outer circumstance in your third house, of say siblings or a travel or trip that doesn't work or something going down and you don't like in your neighborhood, Saturn is working it from your 12th, and that's your self undoing house. So a lot of you will realize that even though someone's playing the bad guy in your third house, or you have to overcome a difficulty in your third house of, online world marketing, merchandising, ideas, projects, learning, siblings, that you're your own worst enemy. And Saturn is going to help you see that in your 12th house as well. So it'll take maybe about a week for you to be clear and resolve that and slay the demon, the Gorgon, and lop off her head with a sword of Perseus in your hand. All right. So that's about it. I hope that's useful to some of you. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and comment and share my videos if you like them. It does help my channel grow. And check out my Sky Reader course. I talked about it earlier on, and it's going to be intimate. I'm capping it at 33 people because I want to make sure that this is high touch and nobody falls through the cracks. Alrighty. And you do learn astrology in 6 weeks, and you can use it to understand your chart, of course, your friends as well, and to be able to use it for fortune telling your own sky to a certain extent. Okay. All right. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Thanks for listening. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. It's sunny here. It's a miracle. It's sunny, cloudy, but cold. Vancouver has had the weirdest time. In terms of our weather, it's still not summer. It feels like it's fall here, cold and windy. Okay, bye-bye. Did I end it? Oh, I was just trying to share a screen. I just want to end this meeting.